Aloha, just making a quick video about this new leash. First session on it today. The Kaohi. Buddy of mine, Christian, recommended this. He's super psyched. I've been running a Coil leash, which is way better than like a 6-foot surf leash, in my opinion. But still had a lot of issues with the Coil leash, getting twisted up and just kind of getting under my foot a lot, and I was kind of getting frustrated. In fact, the last like week or two I've just been going no leash, which is all good until you lose your board when you wipe out on a steep one or something and you got to swim way in over the reef or whatever. That's kind of not so fun. So picked this one up from my buddy Jason in Kaohi, and yeah, not sponsored or anything. I'm not paid to do this. I just want to do a little quick review. So if anybody's looking for a great leash for surf foiling, this is the one I would recommend. Again, it's only one session, but it's been really good. This is the cuff leaf, so it's a little bit bigger. It's meant for going up here. I actually run mine usually like this, just because I feel like it's a little more comfortable when you're getting up and your knees like this. Anyway, you could run it on your ankle. It's a little bit big, or if you really want to run it on your ankle, you could also just use a SCS or Futures fin key and grab a leash that you have that you like the ankle cuff on, and swap it out. It's a swivel, just like most surf leashes nowadays. This is also, no, this is it is swivel on the tail. First surf was great. I had absolutely no waves where the rail saver or the leash got under my back foot, which has been something that's been really frustrating for me for the last while. So all it is really is basic surf leash. It's 4 feet. It's, you know, thinner. It's not a super heavy leash, but you don't really need a lot for the foil. You're not generally in really big waves or anything unless you're towing. So the nice thing about it is when you're sitting on your board, it's literally like impossible for it to get hooked around the foil. I have not had that happen, and the guys that I know that have been riding it for a while saying it never happens, so that's really cool. This board that I have, this Amundsen Firebolt, it has a leash plug on the back here, and I think that that's pretty standard. I know some guys put it on the back here or on the tail. I think this board, you know, says, you know, designed for fire flying. I think some of them say flying fast. It's a fast board, and I think his idea is minimize as much the drag as possible. But I don't feel like there's that much drag just paddling into a wave. So what I'm thinking about doing on my next surf is I put this leash string, and it's actually hooked through the rear bolts on the mast mount for the Armstrong, and I don't really see, I've done this something similar with some other setups, and I haven't had any issues as far as damage or anything like that. You know, it's snug down, so it's not going to move your mast around or anything, but I noticed that definitely helped on previous setups, just not having any potential for the leash to go under your foot because it's coming from under the board, and the board's stopping that from happening. The other thing is, because it is so short, if you're running on your tail and you're a little bit taller guy, if it's on your calf even, it's gonna be probably too short. Like, if that makes sense, there's not enough room when you're paddling your board upside down to go over a shallow reef or whatever. So, you know, if you have a plug on the bottom, that's probably going to be just fine. You could run a little bit longer leash string. I'm going to give this a shot tomorrow and just see how it goes. I didn't have any issues as far as it getting under my foot, which is awesome. You know, when it's small, I'm still going to run no leash. But if it's bigger surf and, you know, getting hammered, you wipe out on a steep drop or something, it's really nice to have a leash. Or if you're surfing in a place where there's other people around and there's any chance of you losing your board and it hurting somebody, obviously it's best to foil where there's not people on the inside. Where I live, it's crowded. It's hard to get waves completely away from other surfers, and because on the foil you're usually riding small kind of mushy waves, you're usually around a lot of kind of beginners or people longboarding or whatever. So in those situations it's nice to have a leash. And this one is super sick. Yeah, look these guys up. I think the website where they sell it online is boardmeetings.com. I talked to one of the guys that worked on designing this, and he was super cool and told me where to get it locally. So I just, you know, drove 20 minutes down the road, met up, made a new friend in the foil community, Jason, and you know, I grabbed one of these leashes from him, and I'm super psyched. Really nice, comfy neoprene strap, and yeah, not too much to say about it. It feels pretty strong and well made, and yeah, if you're looking for a good leash for surf foil, I recommend this. You know, I didn't notice any like slapping like I get when I'm pumping with the coil. I hear that thing bounce around. It's kind of big and it's kind of heavy, and you want to talk about drag. I mean, that's way more drag than just a thin surf leash like this. Yeah, obviously this is going to add a little bit of drag. I don't know if it's really that much. I mean, I could be riding a probably 25 liter board and, you know, still catching the waves that I'm catching for the most part. I ride this because I do get into some really small kind of mushy beach breaks and stuff, and it's nice to have some more volume, but still a really like short board with a nice pulled in outline, which has been good for turning. Just working really nice with this new Armstrong MA 1000 and just 205 surf tail, which I just picked up, and I'm super hyped on that. Yeah, less drag, doesn't hook on the foil like a regular surf leash. Obviously I only surfed it once, but I didn't have any issue with it getting under my back foot, which, you know, anybody that foils, unless you're like a rip a shredder, if that happens, it's really hard to pump with a leash under your back foot. And you can surf, it's just, even, you know, if you've ever had that happen surfing on a shortboard or whatever, it's really annoying. But usually, you know, you're surfing, it's a pretty stable environment, you can reach down maybe and pull it out, or just pick your foot up and it'll get out of the way. On the foil, moving your feet around changes the dynamics so much that it's pretty easy to just eat shit. And so you want your feet pretty well planted. Obviously you want to be able to adjust for pumping and doing turns back and forth, that kind of thing. But yeah, you definitely don't want your leash under your foot. And so far so good. Again, it's only one surf, but check it out. Pretty affordable too. It's price of a regular leash. And if you're frustrated with a coil leash, you're frustrated with the long ass surf leash, check this thing out. Should have them in local shops too. I've seen a few videos online, and yeah, or order them off boardmeetings.com. Again, they didn't pay me. I'm just super into foiling, and when I find something that's good, I like to share it, and I've already told all my buddies, and that's how I heard about it, word of mouth from guys in the community, and just want to pass it on and get a review out there. I'm biased. I'm not selling it. I paid for it. It's just regular guy going out there and testing out stuff and letting you know how it works. So check it out, grab one, see what you think. All right, thank you. Hey guys, so I just wanted to add a little update on the leash after a couple more surfs. I'm still really liking it, definitely sticking with it. I think for foil surf leash, it's as good as it gets right now. I did go ahead and put it back on the top. I tried it on the bottom with the leash strung on the base of the mast, but I was having issues with it slapping and making a lot of noise when I was pumping out on the foil, and so I don't think it would damage it, but it just kind of wasn't crazy about it. So yeah, I went back to regular plug with the string, and it's been pretty good. I've had a couple times where it did get under my back foot, but I noticed that it's not as big a pain as like the Coil leash or the surf leash, because it's kind of thinner and low profile. If it does happen, it pretty much, just by riding the wave or pumping, you get out of the way. The other thing I liked about it being in the top plug is the leash wasn't dragging as much. When it was on the bottom of the board, I could feel it dragging in the water as I was surfing and pumping, and that's not a huge deal, but you definitely notice it, and maybe it changes how it rides a little bit. Overall, I highly recommend it, and yeah, check it out if you're looking for a great leash for foil surfing. All right.